You're young, you're ambitious, and you want to be big early in your life. So in today's video, I'm going to reveal you 9 principles for young people and people in their 20s to become the best version of themselves and actually win in their own life. Now, I want to be real with you from the start on, and no matter what anyone says, I will hold up my hand and say this. I'm not here to tell you I cracked some kind of secret code that nobody else had. I'm somebody who has built a real routine, a real business, and a real system. I run every 2 days. I hit the gym every 2 days. I create content for you guys. And I run my own business, all at the same time, consistently. And the reason all of this gets done, the reason none of it falls apart, is because I follow these 9 principles. So what I'm going to reveal you today is not some kind of theory I made up. It's not something I read in some kind of book. It is what I personally do. And I'm speaking from experience here. Now, before we get into it, please drop a comment down below. Tell me how old are you and what you're currently building. I read every single comment and respond to everyone. And it generally helps people to find this video so I can help more people. So let's get into it. So the first principle is what most people skip. And this is really the issue I see in today's generation. Anyone wants to jump straight to the finish line. Anyone looks at the person on the top, the guy with the business, the following, and their lifestyle. And they think, okay, I want that. Now, without going through what the person actually went through to get this. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. That is not how it works. It has never worked like that, and it will never. When I started building, I was not operating from the position of strength. I had no connections. I had no big platform. I had no resources. I was just a pawn. And I embraced it fully because I understood from early on that you do not start at the top of the pecking order. You earn your way up there. Think about joining a football team. When you're a new player, you are carrying the equipment. You are the ball guy. You are doing the things nobody else wants to do. And that is not embarrassing. That is the process. That is where you can learn. That is where you earn your right to be one day captain. You do not come in, especially as a young person, and become the captain all of a sudden. And that is the issues of today's social media generation. They look at the things and they go, okay, I want to jump from here to there. And I deserve it somehow. There's a genuine honor in starting on the bottom, in being quiet, in respecting the process, and in understanding that it will take time, but only if you do the work in the meantime. So just remember, to be a king, you must be first a pawn. There's nothing wrong with earning your own stripes. Principle 2. Dress to elevate. And this is one of the simplest, but most young people completely ignore it, and it costs them more than they actually think about. When you are young, people are already going to try discredit you because of your age. You do not want to make it worse the way you dress. Now listen, I'm not saying to go out and buy some Gucci handbag or something like that. I'm saying to go out and spend my money. I would argue that wearing big logos at a young person when you're still building anything works against you. It screams that you're trying to impress someone, and the person you actually want to impress, the person who matter, aren't really impressed of this. Never. My best recommendation is simple. Go for clothes with no branding, like this. As well, for example, go for a white t-shirt, go for a white polo or a black polo. Smart trousers, not too baggy, not skinny, clean classic shoes. A blazer over the top, and it elevates you even further. That is generally it. You can hold your own room dressed like this. You look put together. You look older than you are, and nobody gives you the reason to dismiss you before you even opened your mouth. Sometimes less is really more. And I want to be honest with you. I experienced this firsthand. People will try to discredit you because of your age. So do not give them any chance or reason to make this even bigger. Later down the line, once you build something real, you can go and get something what you feel like comfortable in. But right now, the goal is simple. Dress classic, dress timeless, dress older than you are. That is the principle. Principle 3, have something that humbles you. And this one is critical, especially if you win early on. And then you need something external in your life that humbles you on a regular basis. Here's why. If you start seeing success at a young age, and I hope you do, you're going to start thinking you are very good, you're the man or the woman. And if nothing in your life regularly checks your ego, you will become your own worst enemy. I promise you this. I have seen it firsthand. For me, it's training. When I'm running, I'm not the best runner on the road. When I'm in the gym, there's always someone stronger lifting than me. And that's exactly the point. Because in these environments, you cannot fake it. The race doesn't care how much followers you have. The track doesn't care how good your business month was. You either perform or you do not. Simple. Business will also humble you constantly if you let it. The market is completely indifferent to your feelings. It will tell you exactly how good you are, whether you want to or not. And I say this from my personal experience. The moments that have humbled me have built and shaped me the most. They forced me to look at myself honestly, to improve in a way I never would have thought I could improve. So whether it's combat fighting, the gym, running, or just constantly setting hard goals and holding yourself accountable, get something in your life that keeps you grounded. Because if you do not humble yourself, somebody else will. And when it does, it will not come gently. Principle 4, no casual dating. And this one is very important. If you are in your teens or in your early 20s, either you go out to find somebody serious or you do nothing. No casual dating, no casual flirting, none of that. Now listen, I understand that sounds extreme. And I'm not here to shame you for what you want, but I'm going to be very honest with you because that's the channel. You are in the building years right now. These are years where the compound interest of your effort is going to be the biggest. Every hour you spend generally building something in your late teens or your early 20s, it will pay back 10 times more later down the line. And casual dating, the apps, the situationships, the going out every weekend to try to find someone, it pulls you out of that building phase constantly. Not just in time, and mental energy at your age is your most valuable resource. And let me be really honest about something. We live in a brutal dating culture right now. There are successful men all over the world with access to everything through social media. Why in your 19s or 20s would you try to compete with all that? It makes no sense. Keep your head down and build first. Now here's what I'm going to say to you. If you have a person who's genuinely supporting what you're doing, someone who is there from the beginning and believes in what you can actually do, that is someone completely different. That is worth everything. This person is worth to keep. But casual dating to just have fun is not a good option. Keep your head down and build. And once you have made something out of yourself, pop your head up again. The options are getting better anyways. Trust the process. 5. And I will cut this now a bit short because the video will otherwise go 20 minutes. Keep your circle small and your influence large. There's nothing wrong with being known by many people or having connections across different industries. In fact, building a strong reputation and a network is valuable, but the people you truly trust and allow in your inner circle should be a few and are carefully selected. Many people confuse acquaintances with friends and end up surrounded by people who are interested only in status, access, and personal gain. A real friend is honest when others are simply tell you what you want to hear, genuinely celebrates your success and remains loyal when things aren't going well. Build influence quietly, but be secretive about who earns your trust and access your personal life. 6. Understand that success will test you. Most people expect challenges to come from failure, but success often creates even bigger tests. When money comes in, the opportunities appear and people are beginning to notice you, and you think maybe you already made it. Many people lose momentum because they start spending it, showing off and chasing values instead of building. Success can disappear just as quickly as it arrives. Stay as focused and hungry after your first win as you were before them. Long-term success comes from processing results years after years, not from one good period. 7. Invest early and protect what you build. As soon as you begin to make money, develop the habit of investing a significant portion of it. Put money in an asset and invests that helps you in the future rather than spending on it something that proves only on temporary satisfaction. When you're young, your biggest financial risk is often your own impulses. Expensive purchases rarely impress people as much as you think. Time, consistency, and compound growth is what actually makes financial security. Focus on being financial and strong before trying to look successful. 8. Remove your phone from your day. One of the biggest obstacles to deep work today is the constant phone use. Problem isn't just distraction, it's what your brain remains mentally after your messages, notifications, and interruptions all the time. High quality work requires long periods of uninterrupted focus, clear specific blocks of time where your phone is completely out of reach, not on your desk, not in your pocket, not in another room. Most people think that most things that seem urgent can wait. Protecting your attention allows you to think more clearly, work more efficient, and produce far better results. Principle 9. Learn to sit down to do the actual work. Many ambitious people spend a lot of time consuming content about success, but every little time processing anything meaningful. Watching videos, reading books, and making plans can feel productive, but they don't replace execution. Real work means focusing on one important task and staying with it until it's completed, even when motivation disappears. The ability to work through boredom, discomfort, and distractions is what separates people who achieve their goals from those only who talk about them. Motivation may help you to start, but discipline and constant action is what makes you to finish. So ladies and gentlemen, 9 principles. Be on point before trying to be a king. Dress elevated. Get something that humbles you. Keep your circle small, but your influence large. Understand what success will test you harder than failure ever did. Invest early on and make yourself solid before you make yourself visible. Remove your phone from your daily base and protect your focus like it depends on it. And learn how to sit down to do the actual work. These are not things I read somewhere and thought sounds good. These are the things I personally live by every day, while running, while training, while building a channel for you, while running my own business. And I want you to know something before I go. I'm rooting for your success. Drop me a comment down below. Tell me which of these 9 principles you needed to hear the most today. I read every single one. It takes you 5 seconds and it generally helps more young people to find this video. So I'm rooting for your success.